welcome to this evening flow to stretch and wind down from your busy day. We'll start in mountain pose with our hands by our sides. Stand up nice and tall. As you inhale, reach the arms out to the sides and up overhead. Bring the palms together. Inhale, lengthen the whole body. And exhale, curve over to your side. Stretch through your rib cage. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, curve to the opposite side. Inhale, come back through center and bring the hands down in front of the chest, moving into a tandem stance. Take your right foot directly in front of your left, so feet are in a straight line. You're working on your balance here. Just as we find balance between work and play, you can work on balance in your yoga class. Lift the heels off the mat and reach the fingertips up for the sky, moving your center of gravity upward, nice and slow and steady. Hold here, gaze at the horizon. Inhale, lift a little higher. And exhale, lower the heels, lower the hands back to the chest. Take your right foot and put it right behind the left heel now this time, switching the feet position. We'll do that movement again. Lift the heels, reach the fingertips to the sky. Inhale, reach up. Hold at the top. And exhale, slowly lower the heels, lower the fingertips back to the chest. Step the feet back, parallel with each other into your mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Bend the elbows, coming into goalpost arms. Move the elbows back, stretch across the front of the chest. Inhale, lengthen, reach the arms up overhead. We'll move into a forward fold. Bringing your arms down by your sides, bend your knees and reach your fingertips for the mat. Forward fold, stretch the back of the legs here. Inhale as you lengthen the chest. And exhale, step your right foot way back, drop your back knee. We're coming into a lunge. Maybe adjust your front foot a little further forward so we can stretch through the hips. Now we'll reach the arms out overhead. Inhale, reach the arms up. Send the hips forward, stretching through the front of the right hip. Bring the hands back down to the mat on either side of the front foot and lift the back knee into a runner's lunge. Push through the back heel to stretch the calf and the hamstrings. We'll press into the front leg. A strong front leg as you reach the arms up and overhead, high crescent pose. Hold here in your high crescent, another balancing pose. Bring your arms out to shoulder height. We'll rotate towards the right, letting the back foot swivel and the heel come down. Look over your front fingers, warrior two pose. We'll straighten the front leg and come into pyramid by bringing both hands out in front to meet the left leg. And then reaching the fingertips towards the mat or the shin. Come into triangle pose. Lift your right arm up to the sky. Triangle pose. Inhale. Maybe you take your gaze to your upper hand, looking towards the sky. On your next exhale, bring the hand back down to pyramid pose. Bend the knee, lift the back heel, and step the feet together in a forward fold. Sweep the arms up overhead. Inhale. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the fingertips down towards the mat. We'll step the left leg back this time into a low lunge. Drop your back knee to the mat. Scoot your right foot forward a bit. And lift your arms to the sky. Low lunge with arms reaching up. Drop your hips forward, stretch through the back hip. Inhale. And exhale, bring the hands back down to your mat on either side of the front foot and lift the back knee into runner's lunge. Strong front leg here as you reach the arms out in front and up into high crescent pose. Hold here. Bring the hands down parallel with the ground and swivel to your left, dropping your heel back to the mat into warrior two. Then turn your gaze to look out over your right hand. straighten the front leg and sweep the back arm to meet the right arm at the front. Come into pyramid pose. Drop your hands towards the mat, stretching through the front leg. You can place your right hand on your shin here and come into triangle pose. Left arm reaches up for the sky. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, the hand back down to your pyramid pose. We'll step the back foot up to meet the right, coming into a forward fold. Bend the knees, sweep the arms out to the sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring the arms down to goalpost arms. Bring the hands together at the front, pressing them into prayer hands. We'll step the feet wide into goddess pose. A nice wide stance here, toes pointed slightly out, and bend the knees coming over the ankles. From goddess pose, bring the arms into goalpost or cactus arms again. Hold here in your goddess for a moment, strong legs. Straighten the legs, straighten the arms, reach out into star pose. Inhale. Star pose, forward fold. Reach for the mat, the ankles, let the head relax down. Bring the hands out in front of you, and we'll reach the right arm up into a twist. Looking up, squirt your right hand, breathe in, and then exhale. Bring the hand down, lift the left arm up, follow it with your gaze. Inhale, and exhale, hands back to the mat. Come back to star pose, reaching the arms out. And jump the feet together. Come back to mounted pose. We're gonna lift our right leg up. Working on our balance here, shift your weight to your left leg and hover your right knee parallel with the earth for just a moment. Maybe you hug the knee into the chest. Standing knee to chest pose. And then you can grab a hold of your shin or your ankle and start to drop the knee down towards the earth and back behind you, stretching the quadriceps, the front of the leg. We take our left hand and reach it out long in front of you, palm facing in. We can move into dancer pose from here, leaning forward, hinging at the hips, press the foot back and away. Or release the foot, straighten the leg, arms reach overhead into warrior three. Bring the fingertips to the mat, standing splits pose. Lower the foot, back to the mat, bending the knees. Sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands back to heart center. We'll lift the left knee up this time. Shifting our weight to your right leg, hover the knee here for a moment. Find your balance, fix your gaze on the horizon. We'll bring the knee into the chest, hugging the knee close to the chest. And then grabbing the ankle, drop the knee down towards the earth. And then extending it back and away in a hip extension here. Once you're steady on your feet, reach your right arm forward, palm facing in, and come into dancer pose by pressing the foot into the hand, hinging forward at the hips. Focusing on your balance. Let go of the foot as you straighten the leg. Reach both arms out in front of you into a warrior three. Focus on your balance here. Strong leg. Inhale. Bring the hands down to the mat, standing splits pose. Bend the right knee, bring both feet back to the mat into a forward fold. Sweep the arms up, overhead, inhale, exhale to goalpost arms. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. One more forward fold, Uttanasana. Reach the fingertips for the mat. Step the right leg back. Drop the knee, step the left leg back. Coming into table pose here for a couple of cat-cows. Round the back up to cat pose and lower the belly to cow pose. Arch into cat pose and drop the belly down to cow pose. Drop the hips down to the mat. We're going to come into a seated position. Eventually end up on our backs. So sweep your feet around to the mat. Adjust your hips to the center of the mat. And slowly make your way all the way onto your back. We'll do a reclining pigeon pose here. Knees are bent. Take your right ankle and cross it over your left thigh. Bring the whole unit of the legs into the chest, grabbing at the top of the knee here, hugging the knee and the legs into the chest to stretch the right hip. Release the top of the knee, and you can swivel the hips left and right here for a moment. Place the left foot back on the mat, uncross the legs. Left ankle across the right thigh. Lift the right knee towards the chest. Hug the top of the knee here. Stretching through the back of the left hip. Maybe you rock the hip side to side a little bit. Release the cross of the legs. You can rest here in reclining constructive rest pose, or straighten your legs out and come into Savasana, your final relaxation pose for this class. Let your neck be soft. Let your forehead be smooth. Relax all the muscles in your face and around your eyes. And let yourself sink just a little more into your mat. Letting the hips settle, the legs feel heavy. Letting go of holding any tension. Whenever you're ready, bend your knees and place your feet back on the mat. Lift your hips up and move them to one side. Roll onto your side. Use your top arm to press yourself back up to a seated position. So glad you could join me for this evening yoga flow. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next time.